What is up YouTube, and welcome to this Snowpiercer video. And wow, wasn't this a great intense episode or what? The way the final scenes were shot were terrifying and menacing, with the lighting and the cramped conditions, complete with Sean Bean and Daveed Diggs' fantastic acting. Before we break this down, please do consider dropping a like down below and subscribing with notifications on as we start our coverage on Falcon and the Winter Soldier on Friday, and on Thursday we are covering the Zack Snyder Justice League Snyder Cut. We open with Roach musing about how the train is slowly uniting under Wilford as they are scared of each other and what they can do. It's easy to demonize the tailies who just wanted to, not freeze to death. How dare they not pay to live in the form of a ticket they possibly couldn't afford. However, slowly these ticketed passengers and Wilford fanatics are uniting, and this is causing those on the fence to side with the numbers, and we catch up with Bogey and Bessie and crew to talk about these murders of the Breachmen. Now, he doesn't, like most of the train, believe that the pastor could have been the one behind the murders. I mean, I would be skeptical in Bogey's shoes, and the train and Bogey do believe that it was the tailies. He's such a great character, and this turn to the good side this episode was really interesting to watch. Alex is further out of the inner circle of our lad Wilford, as well as Audrey is fully in there with Wilford, and Alex suspects that Wilford is actually going to breach the Snowpiercer, and she would be right, but he doesn't trust her. Slowly, with these malfunctions and saving the day, Wilford has eroded Leighton's support, as Leighton is told there are now no-go zones for tailies, but the second-class support is still there, which I thought was a bit odd. Now, the Breachmen are keeping the peace, but it's incredibly fragile, and Roach moves his kid out of danger as the carriages start to flood. These aren't the cheap carriages, but the carriages of influential people done on purpose by Wilford to get support of higher-up people on the train. The Josie subplot seems to be nearing its endgame after rumbling along all season. Her frostbite is fixed, and she is given the freedom of the train. She initially was scared of going to the Big Alice as she was integral in the revolution, except they share a common enemy in Melanie. It's evident that Wilford will want to use Josie to possibly take her out and really kind of indoctrinate Josie to this, and well, it would be interesting, as if he does, he would lose Alex forever, I guess. However, there are more serious issues going on as the flooding gets worse, and they need a breachman, except there's just one left, and he isn't too fond of our revolutionaries. We see who is causing this as Audrey comes to witness Icy Bob return from causing the breaches on the Snowpiercer, but he's done far too much as he is heavily hurt. It seems like the weird scientists are unhappy that Icy Bob has been used simply as a weapon. And talking of wasted potential, these weird scientists looked so interesting, and to be honest, they are closest in tone to the movie of Snowpiercer to date than anything else in the show over these 2 seasons, but have been sidelined heavily. Even the experiments they were doing have been shown, and a horror-style subplot for Josie would have been superb, except it's just for her to be used as an assassin, or at least that's my theory. We see that she can actually go outside, as she can use her hands in the cold, which is really, really weird, and that's possibly how Icy Bob was made. And in the trailer for next week, we see her going outside as well. Now, Alex slowly works out what our boy Wilford's plans were all along as he relaxes with Audrey as Kevin waits on them hand and foot, sometimes quite literally, as Bogey goes to fix the pipes and confirms the Wilford foul play. And we do have him come back, and he's disenfranchised Wilford there, and the grim reality dawns that his friends were murdered by their idol. It's all a game of, I would say, trains, not thrones, and I imagine that Wilford intended to kill all of the Breachmen, so that Snowpiercer perhaps had to ask for help a lot sooner than they actually did. And I love the subterfuge and the planning of this. Now, if Leighton is the Ned Stark, then Sean Bean here is very, very much the Cersei. LJ's weird subplot also continues. She mops up and later kisses Bessie's former partner, but she can see that the end is nigh here as she has clout with Wilford, and she knows that this is all going to come back on the revolutionaries and the people now running the train like Leighton and Wilford. But Roach is also in a tough position as he learns that the jackbooted security who survived the revolution have formed a command, and I'd imagine that very soon he will be replaced based on what happens at the end of this episode. And this command coming back is not going to be very good for the people who fought against or at least Wilford's security that he had on the train. Now, his wife is clearly a Wilford supporter and comes in to discuss siding with Wilford or not, but Roach says how the madman Wilford made holes in the train for frostbite punishments. He's an absolute sadist. However, the saying, better the devil you know, rings very, very true here for those who support Wilford. I really like the expansion of Roach's character, but the engine is fluctuating in power as the engineers work out that the damage by Icy Bob has really caused a lot more than they expected as they head into the engine eternal and see that the digital brain of the train has become damaged and they really need a replacement, except, yep, who runs the supply train? Yes, that is Wilford. Now, right on cue, they call Wilford for a replacement as he knows exactly where to go and what to do because he's planned this meticulously, complete with the swanning in to save the day, and Wilford is whisked in secret so as that his supporters do not get wind that he is on the train. But, well, they do, and they plan to keep him on board as Wilford menacingly fixes the train. This scene was just a joy to watch. I am simping over this scene because the real cramped conditions and Leighton's real loss of control because he doesn't know how this train works. He is a policeman, he's an investigator, he is a revolutionary, he's not an engineer. And this is why people love Wilford so much. He is kind of like the Elon Musk of this world because he's built this thing that's just stunning, has great things. He's not the typical businessman, but he is also, you know, saved humanity, so that's going to get him a bit there. So Wilford menacingly fixes the train despite Melanie's hacks that she used to keep it running and dramatically resets the train as his followers do that as well, using Big Alice to push it, and he addresses the train. He has taken the train in a masterstroke, with Sean Bean really bringing this villain to life, which has been a real joy to watch over the past couple of weeks, and I've really enjoyed bringing you these videos each week, and I do want you to check out my other videos as I create a lot of content nearly every day as well. So I would appreciate if you do give this video a like and maybe subscribe as well, as it does help us out massively. But Port Leighton has now been arrested as Roach has been sent to the Big Alice, and it looks like he will be added to the drawers up there. Hey, didn't I say there's more to those drawers last week? I knew there was more coming. Wilford has the train, and I imagine this is why they didn't pick up Melanie when we saw it. But the timeline's a bit weird there. But he no longer needs Alex as well. Yes, Alex is not in his good graces, and he now rules the train. Next week is a 2-hour finale, and in the trailer we see the fight against Wilford start, which should be very fun to watch, and I'm excited to bring you that finale as well, and I hope you did enjoy this video. I do have my Snyder Cut video coming up Thursday when I've watched it, and I will be doing the Falcon and the Winter Soldier on Friday, and Saturdays will be my episode preview for the next week as well. So please do drop a like down below and do subscribe with notifications on, and I'll see you soon, and goodbye.